After spending 3 months exploring the remote Brittany coastline, we were ready to explore a town, meet some other cruisers, and maybe have a few drinks. Which is exactly what we found in A Coruña, Galicia's second largest city. In this week's episode, we're taking you along with us for a full week in our lives as we sail to and explore the crystal city of A Coruña.
Woke up this morning in this anchorage of Sidera. We spent yesterday just kind of hanging out and getting some work done and enjoying the anchorage. But today we've woken up and we're planning to head over to A Coruña, which is kind of one of the big cities along the coast here and probably one of the few big cities that we'll spend time in on Delfino here on the Spanish coast. It's going to be really calm today. We need to get there before the wind turns tomorrow. Might be a bit rolly as it's been every day that we've been out on this coast. It should take us about 4 hours. Should be quite sunny and quite pleasant overall. What a beautiful anchorage this one has been. Really nice. Let's pick this anchor up. Anchor's at the waterline. Anchor secure.
The Galician coastline is breathtakingly beautiful, and the weather this morning showed it off at its best. The only downside to sailing here is the threat from orcas, which was very much in the front of our minds as we saw a big group of birds and something feeding under the sea.
There must be some fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I just saw dolphins!
Where?
Underneath all the seagulls, see? Wow, loads of dolphins! We'd heard from other sailors in the area that if you see dolphins, you're unlikely to see orcas soon after, because orca eat dolphins, so they normally try to avoid each other. So we took seeing such a large pod of dolphins as a good sign and tried to relax into the sail. After a few hours, we reached the mouth of the Rio de Coruña, where we found ourselves in the middle of a regatta. We sailed past the Tower of Hercules, a lighthouse that has existed for almost 2,000 years, and once we rounded the breakwater we could see the Castle of St Anton, which defended A Coruña against the English navy in the 16th century. And after so long in rural Brittany, seeing the giant cruise ships that visit A Coruña was a bit of a shock to the system.
It's Monday morning, and one of the things I'm always really excited to do when we get to new places, go for a run. It's really hard to exercise on the boat. It's quite small, there's not a lot of space. And running is a great way to check out the town and check out where we've just arrived to. So yeah, got a route planned on Strava. It's like 7k, and I'll show you what that's like. Strava's been awesome for planning these routes. They've got a little heat map thing which will tell you where other people have been running. And I find that the runs are just so much more enjoyable if you're on a good path and you're running sort of where everybody else is running. So yeah, strong recommend. Also, one thing we did this morning was spend a bunch of time planning our week, which is Laura and I, we always argue about this.
Yeah, guess which one of us likes planning and which one does not.
I'm like a butterfly causing chaos, you know. I don't know.
A butterfly?
Yeah, like chaos theory or whatever. You know, when it like...
butterfly flaps its wings and 3 days later nothing's been filmed.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Yeah. But the boat's been sailed a lot and we've had a great time. So.
Yeah. And we've had a couple of weeks of just like chaos, preparing for Biscay, doing the Biscay crossing, and then kind of recovering and exploring a new place. and just not really being in a routine. So it's good to be getting back into a routine now and having a bit of structure for the week.
Yeah.
And we need a bit of structure, and we need a bit of a plan that we've decided on together. You know that this is true when you live in such a small space and when you're trying to balance work, cruising, filming. There's just a lot going on.
I know Laura's right, but trust me, it's not my natural instinct to be planned. I just, you know, I go with the flow. That was an amazing run. Really nice running tracks. Mostly got a bit lost in the city, but great temperature. Really lovely. I had a moment to cool down so I can go take you guys and show you a little bit of the marina and show you a little bit about what the bathroom toilet situation is like. So I'm gonna go shower, and what I do is I just like go get all my stuff, change clothes, towel, put them in a bag, and I've got these plastic Birkenstocks, which are great. So just wear those to, from, and in the shower. So that's Delfina there. Go all the way down the pontoon and then up some stairs, and then the shower blocks are like over there. Showers around here.
My turn for a run. Forgot to film at the start though, so I'm having to film midway, and you can see me all red and out of breath. Bit of excitement in the marina this evening. I was just sitting here editing with my headphones in, and I heard this huge banging noise. It sounded like we'd hit the front of the dock, so I rushed up. Everyone upstairs was like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. Came back down, carried on editing. Happened again after Stu came back, so he's now gone up to investigate it. It was our anchor hitting the dock, so now Stu's faffing with all of the lines. But basically a rain cloud has come in, and it's high tide, and it's kind of rush hour, so there's loads of pilot boats and tour boats and stuff coming in. Everyone's just like piling into the marina now. There's just a huge amount of wash and swell, and the boats are moving all over the place, and yeah, chaos. Good morning, it is Tuesday. It's still quite swelly in the marina because we've got a very large cruise ship friend next to us now. Last night we stopped filming a little bit abruptly because we were invited round to one of the other boats in the marina for some drinks. And yeah, I was going to show you cooking dinner, but it ended up being a bit of a struggle to cook dinner. So I'll show you that tonight instead. Right, it's lunchtime. This is what I'm making for lunch. We were meant to have it for dinner, but I decided it was too complicated to make after our drinks last night, so we're going to have it now instead. It's from one of my favourite cookbooks. I have quite a few of Anna Jones's books. They are predominantly vegetarian cooking, which was how we ate mostly when we lived on land, and has also translated well into being on the boat. Our fridge is not the best at keeping everything in the fridge cold, so you can either choose between having stuff directly under the unit and having it frozen, or having it kind of a little bit warmer than it should ideally be in the rest of the fridge, which is fine for vegetables but obviously not great for meat. So we eat vegetarian most of the time. For those of you who've not come across nasi goreng before, it is an Indonesian fried rice dish which is typically served with a fried egg on top. And the way that I'm making it today, I don't have quite a few of the ingredients that I needed, so the recipe's got lovely fresh things like coriander and fresh chilli, and I don't have any of those, so I'm using some Korean chili paste because that's what I have. And it's basically just going to be rice and black beans with a fried egg on top and a load of seasonings. So it's really good boat food because all of that stuff we have on board and lasts for ages. Would be better if I had fresh coriander, but I'll live.
delicious.
Let's go to the supermarket. This cruise ship weighs over 184,000 tonnes, can have more than 5,000 guests and has 1,800 crew, so a little bit bigger than Delfino. It also has 4 pools, which, yeah, haven't got any of those on Delfino. Could maybe do with that on the next boat. Bit of a break from work. We are on our way to the supermarket. Haven't been in about a week, so we have officially run out of fresh food with using our last half a cucumber on lunch. So time to get ourselves some vegetables. The Spanish food has been very good so far, but it's mostly focused around cheese and meat, so need some greens.
Yeah, been asking for a stew for a while.
You have, yeah, so hopefully I can make a stew for stew tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice that you're coming to the supermarket with me. You'd never have done that at home.
Well, I mean, it's part of the cruising lifestyle.
This doesn't happen every time we get to the supermarket though, but
Who do you think's been filming all of those shots in various French supermarkets? So because it's Europe, of course, the way to the supermarket involves crossing a beautiful plaza with an amazing cathedral.
And because it's Europe and it's mid-afternoon, the plaza is dead.
Yeah, nobody's having their afternoon coffees yet.
No. Got bad news for you.
What?
The supermarket is under construction.
Yeah, that's not just closed for the afternoon, is it? That's like that's closed until next year.
Right, plan B. Turns out that plan B is actually going to be quite fun by the looks of it.
That's pretty random.
Yeah.
Never seen an escalator in the middle of a city sidewalk before. Baby cart. We do half of the shop. One of the things that we always end up doing is going through every single aisle in foreign supermarkets because it's like, why not? It's part of the intrigue. It's part of the sense of discovery. What can we buy? What is that? Do you think it's supposed to be cooked? Or it's just like a big sandwich?
Yeah, it's so
yeah, cook it. Wonder how that is.
Tempted.
I'm very tempted.
You want to get it?
Yeah, let's get this thing.
Okay.
Giant ham cheese donut thing.
Yeah. So big for my hand.
It's been a good couple of days, but now we're going to go watch Spain versus France here in A Coruña. And knowing how the Spanish watch football, I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty raucous affair. I have no idea where we're going to go watch this game, but I'm just hoping it'll be on everywhere.
What could go wrong?
We're struggling to find a place. Well, we found a place that had a view of a screen. Looked okay. It was just like a bit empty. We're a bit far from the screen. But,
The aimless wandering strategy is not paying off.
well, there's no other strategy to take. What are you going to do?
We found the spot. Spain have just scored. So look it up. Well, that escalated.
It did, yes.
It's currently midnight.
That was fun. We met a guy called David, our new best friend David, who was insistent on buying us beer.
Very insistent.
He was lovely though. He was a mess. I'm a mess. It's time to get back to Duffy now.
But that was a fun evening.
It was.
RIP our content tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, Spain is awesome. I love Spain so much.
When we started this lifestyle, we hoped that we would find a bit of a cruising community. And we didn't really find that in France. It felt like everybody there was kind of on their boats for the weekend or...
There were so many boats that the cruisers were few and far between comparatively.
Yeah, like everybody was kind of there just to be on their boat and then they were going home. So it feels really nice to have found a bit of a, even if it's just like a teeny bit of cruising community in A Coruña.
Yeah, met some awesome people from Germany and some lovely people from Netherlands and
and some very nice Brits as well. Right, time for bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't really want to be in it.
She's hungover. We're both hungover. It's almost 12 hours later and we've only just mustered the energy to get up and do anything. I've just showered and shaved, but today we've got quite a long list of sort of organising the boat. I'm on to my second coffee of the day. Hopefully that'll get me through this. Basically the challenge is that the boat, all of the storage spaces in the boat are quite small, and so things just become overwhelming. You know, if I open this chart table here, there's just stuff everywhere in it, and every once in a while you just kind of have to go through the main kind of storage areas and sort them out and figure out what you want to keep and what needs to move elsewhere, and today is one of those days. And one other thing that's happened is that we've changed climate, so it's noticeably warmer, and so we need to swap around a lot of our winter clothes for summer clothes and figure out what we're doing with our old duvet. Probably going to throw it out, but get some new blankets or new sheets. So yeah, it's just one of those kind of, it feels like spring cleaning, but it's really the change into summer is what's happening.
Summer cleaning.
Summer cleaning on the boat. It's a thing. You'll see it here first. All right, let's crack on.
It is finally time to put my winter clothes away. For the first couple of months that we were back on the boat, it was still a little bit chilly, so I was still kind of getting quite a lot of wear out of all my like jumpers and things, particularly in the mornings. But now that we've made it to Spain, so far we've seen temperatures anywhere between like 19 and 23, and as soon as we go around the corner and kind of get nearer to Portugal, it's meant to get a lot hotter. So I desperately need to sort out my clothes to make sure that I can actually access my warm weather clothes quickly and that I'm not having to try like rifle through jumpers to get them. So that's the plan. So here is where I store the majority of my clothes. On this side I've got shelves for like t-shirts and trousers and things, and on this side I've got a little bit of hanging space that has currently got like jumpers and some bits and lots of jumpers in it. So aim is to get the jumpers out of here. I've got some like corduroy trousers and things, they're coming out, and the warm stuff that's been under the bed for ages is going back in. We've done some light organising, and now we're going to reward ourselves with something that we have not had access to since the middle of March. We've got an even bigger cruise ship next to the marina today. Just looked it up and today's cruise ship has 5 pools, so suck it yesterday's cruise ship with only 4 pools. So our energy for filming for the rest of yesterday was pretty low, but we didn't stay eating McDonald's all day. We went out for a very nice dinner at a place called 55 Pesos, which had great food, excellent wine, really, really good experience. If you are ever in A Coruña, I would 100% recommend that you go there. Part of the reason why we've been in A Coruña for so long is that we are waiting for some parcels, which hopefully are going to arrive today. There is a chance that they won't arrive until Monday, so we might find ourselves stuck here over the weekend. if they do arrive today, then we can leave tomorrow, and there's very good wind for leaving, which is very exciting. So what we're going to do, we are going to try and collect all of our parcels, and we are going to try to prepare to leave tomorrow morning. So we've got quite a busy day. We're going to take you along with us, and we're going to hope that all the parcels arrive and that all of this preparation is not for nothing.
Let's go.
Classic.
You have the keys? The British and the Spanish have a long history here in A Coruña. As you can imagine, it's kind of one of the northernmost cities that's closest to the UK, and the town just down the road, Ferrol, is where the Spanish, I think Ferrol is where the Spanish Armada left to invade England. Maria Pita was part of the Spanish army that turned away the English, turned away Sir Francis Drake in the 16th century. And that was a time when the Spanish and the English were really at each other's throats. She killed Sir Francis Drake's brother with a spear.
Did she?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, is that the spear? Oh, is that Sir Francis Drake's brother?
That is probably Sir Francis Drake's brother, yeah, up there. And apparently that broke the morale and the will of the British Army, and they fled.
Oh, interesting.
I think she was enraged after the Brits killed her husband.
Did you Google all of this, or did you?
I Googled it. I Googled it all.
I was like, this is a lot of knowledge from you.
No. So whilst I did Google that, I've also been geeking out on naval heroes of old, and one of the people that I read about was Sir Francis Drake, Britain's great naval hero, pirate, privateer, and sort of state-sponsored pirate is probably a good way to describe him. But yeah, pretty fascinating to see that little bit of history here in A Coruña.
Spanish markets are a little bit different to markets that we've been to elsewhere in the world. So here you ask for what you want and the store holders will pick it up for you, so you don't touch the fruit and veg and select your own fruit and veg. So given I speak absolutely zero Spanish, that means pressure's going to be on Stu to work out how much we want and order the correct thing. So let's see how we do. Our first stop was the San Agustin Market, built in 1930 and known for its concrete parabolic roof, inspired by the public market in Reims. And although we'd been to plenty of markets during our time in France, we were about to find out that Spanish markets are a little bit different. That's good.
Está bien. It's cow?
It's cow.
Wow. I want some of that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Made a mess. It's good though. Very nice.
I don't normally like blue cheese.
From Galicia.
From Galicia? Nice.
Cheese. Sobrado dos Montes.
Sobrado dos Montes?
Chanceda.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. Got everything we wanted. So in France, it didn't seem like there was such a difference between the quality of cheese and things that you could buy in the supermarket and in the actual market, whereas here the stuff that we found in the market looked a lot better than what was in the supermarkets. There was a lot more choice, and yeah,
Honestly,
the cheese that we just tried was so good.
Oh, so amazing.
Right, now we're going to head back to the boat, put it all away, carry on working through our big old list. So here's what we got. Giant pepper. Is this pepper as big as my head, do you think?
It's absolutely humongous. Yeah.
Local padron peppers. Broccoli, which we learn in Spanish is brócoli. Potatoes, which for some reason ended up being the most complicated thing to ask for.
And these are greyos, which are turnip tops, and they are very traditional from this area and a key ingredient in what I'm going to be making for dinner, so I'm pleased that we found these.
Right, next step is to go to a hardware store and hopefully to pick up all these packages that we're waiting for, including the new Starlink mount, which has taken us a while to get. Parcel number 1. Some, but not all. I'll take it. One of the things that I have an absolute ton of respect for in Spanish culture is this desire to maintain community. All of the cafes and bars are just filled with friends and family meeting each other, and it's something that everybody's carving a little bit of time out in the middle of their day to make sure they maintain. And a lot of it centers around small cafes, either in beautiful plazas like this one or just really on any of the side streets. All of them are packed with people, and you really get the sense that people are going to their regular spots where they know the people that work there, they know the family that runs the place. It's something that a lot of Europe shares, and I feel us in the English speaking world, to be honest, maybe we lack a little bit of that.
Hello!
Hi.
How did it go?
So everything arrived except for the Starlink mount. I asked about the Starlink one, the one that was arriving, and she kind of indicated that it's in the office but not processed yet.
Oh, that's really irritating.
She wasn't exactly clear. She said that if they process it, they'll give me a text message, which is very nice. I got the number, and she said that they're open on Saturday mornings for the next 3 months. So.
Okay, so we might get it tomorrow.
So we might get it tomorrow, yeah.
Great, then we can do a 45-mile sail with 4 hours of wind.
Yeah.
It is midnight.
Oh my god, dude.
If he were playing on our boat and singing without the microphone on our boat, I think it would be less loud. It's 1 a.m. and the guitar player has finally stopped playing, but our freshwater pump has sprung a leak, quite a catastrophic leak, and filled our bilge with water. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. So it's gone down now, but it was the reason that we found out about it was that the automatic bilge pipe kicked on, so it filled all the way up, right up to the top.
Yep. My duct tape is no longer working. Great. Well, thank God we installed that big automatic bilge pump.
So just in case we didn't explain well what happened last night, back before we were crossing Biscay, we had a problem with our freshwater pump, which is what's down there. The strainer isn't sealing properly and it's leaking water. And because obviously I filled the freshwater tanks yesterday and that strainer is leaking, it means a lot of the water that I filled into the freshwater tank ended up in the bilge, which is not good. We have pretty big tanks, we have 400 litre water tanks, so that's a lot of water that could end up down there. And we only realised that it was leaking because the huge automatic bilge pump that we installed went off. So all of a sudden this very angry noise of a pump pumping out tons of water, and the bilge was completely filled. So that was a bit stressful. But thank God for that automatic bilge pump. Yeah, really happy that we installed that. Without that freshwater pump and with the strainer leaking, we don't have access to any fresh water. So it's kind of something that I need to tackle today. I was hoping to go for another run and get some other stuff done, but we'll see how we get on. I managed to find this piece in my spares bag, so yeah, should work, at least to create a proper permanent, well, a more robust temporary solution until we get the new strainer ordered.
This is classic Stu boatwork chaos. Like, Loads of like cable ties. Why does he even need those for this project? A belt that's been discarded. Some trousers that have been discarded. What is going on up here?
I had to get these hoses out, which were right at the bottom of the lathes of this thing that I'm sitting on. So everything had to come out, and it's kind of like our garage, and it's really disorganized. Now that these are out, I'm wondering if I should install the new swim ladder, which requires going under there, and it's what did you call it, Laura?
Scope creep.
Scope creep. It's just a classic example of the boat scope creep. Well, I haven't even finished the last project, so maybe I should do that first.
I'm glad you've said that this time and I haven't had to do it.
Oh, well, I was just reading your mind that you're thinking, I hope he bloody finishes the last thing.
Yeah, we don't have any water yet, and you're like, oh, let's install a ladder. We are having the giant sandwich for lunch that we found in the supermarket earlier in the week, which is good because it means that I am going to have way less washing up to do.
The bread came out quite nicely, and the cheese is tasty. Yeah, not bad for a giant sandwich in a packet.
Yeah, I didn't have high hopes, but actually I think the cheese that's in this is nicer than any of the cheese I've managed to buy from the supermarket in blocks. So yeah, probably get this again.
Yeah. I'm so glad that's done. One of the challenges with these boatwork projects is like the tiny cramped space. I'm in the aft cabin, and that's the space down there that I have to get into. So just to give you a sense, I gotta like lean down, and it's in there, and it's in there. So I've got to like, when I'm working on it, this is me. This is the position I'll be doing all that work in. Oh God.
Tonight for dinner I want to try and make something Galician, and after quite a bit of googling, which may or may not be accurate, I have found a dish called caldo gallego, I think, which is basically a Galician stew with whatever kind of cut of pork it seems like you feel like in it. Could be bacon, could be ham, could be chorizo, could be all of them, beans, and the grelos that we found in the market yesterday, which are the top green bit of turnips. And apparently in Galicia the green bit of the turnips is kept for people to eat, and the root bit of the turnip was traditionally fed to cows. So I hope that means that the green bit is actually nice, because I've never had them before. And it doesn't sound the most appetising, the turnip tops, so we will see how that goes. This probably isn't going to be the most traditional rendition of this. I'm not trying to sort of perfectly accurately recreate it. I just want to make a dinner that's tasty and uses up what we have, which from reading about this dish, it does sound like that's kind of the ethos of it, and you sort of put in whatever you've got and generally make a comforting stew. So I've got some bacon, I've got some chorizo, we've obviously got the greos, got some beans and potatoes, and yeah, we'll see how this turns out. The one thing that I did find that most of the recipes agreed on was that you should make your own stock using pork bones and 4 hours and all sorts of things. But I don't want to do that on a boat. I don't want a pot of water boiling here for several hours, putting out humidity into what's already quite a damp environment. So we're just going to try and use stock cubes and keep your fingers crossed that that doesn't like totally trash the whole thing.
Unfortunately, we don't have half a pig to hand, so the stock cubes are just going to have to do the job. Also, I spent the rest of the day doing boat work, which I didn't film, and it was hot and pretty horrible, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to some hearty stew.
Stew for stew.
Stew for stew. Yeah. Oh, sleepy.
This is our chunk of bacon, and this bit's all bone. Looks very tasty. Is that bone? Yeah, bone here too. So maybe I do have some pork bones that I could chuck in the stock. Yeah, and here. So now what?
How often is it that you get a piece of pork like that from the shop, you know?
Yeah, never. Like, I have no idea what to do with this, really.
Do you want me to do some of the butchering? Oh,
what?
That looks dangerous. Oh.
Yeah, it's not the smartest idea.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. I feel it's super rare to go to a supermarket in the English-speaking world and find a big hunk of pancetta like that. Pretty cool. And we had a similar piece for breakfast the other day, and it was very, very nice.
Just had a little nibble on one of the Grayos stems. It tasted a bit like celery, which is not what I was expecting.
Nice. Look at that. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sort of cooking is really outside of my comfort zone. I don't ever really tend to boil things, and there's nowhere to hide in a recipe like this. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Good, right?
When I was tasting it as I was cooking, it was kind of quite like one note and quite savoury. So I added some honey and some lemon, and the turnip tops as well. I've also added some like acidity and brightness. It's really tasty. Paprika-y, sort of, it tastes like there are herbs in there, but there aren't, so it must just be the turnip tops. A little bit salty. I can see why this is a comforting autumnal dish. It does feel quite a lot like a hug on a plate.
Oh, we've been hearing music, live music coming, and we've never bothered investigating what it is.
Which we should have done.
Well, apparently we should have done, yeah. So I think in order to understand why we're so keen to go see this, people need to understand that Laura is a huge Eurovision fan.
Just generally trashy European pop.
Yeah. So, and apparently it's Atlantic Pride, and
Spain's this year's Spanish Eurovision entry is currently playing. My favourite Spanish Eurovision entry is about to play. And the Venga Boys played on Thursday. We missed them.
anyway, hopefully we can get in. Hopefully it's like free.
It seemed like it was free from the website, but we'll see.
So yeah, we're just following the sound of the music. Well, that was pretty cool, pretty random.
Yeah, I gotta say, Spain is blowing France out of the water. The Festival's looking pretty amateur right now.
It is. What I find crazy is that it's 1:30 in the morning and just the town is still very much alive, and it's not alive necessarily with like seedy nightlife. It's alive with people in bars and restaurants, and people seem to be eating as well. It's nuts.
There were kids in front of us at the show.
Yeah.
It's 1:30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unsurprisingly, we had a very lazy Sunday, and the only thing we filmed was the Coast Guard trying to get some lost dolphins out of the marina. But we dragged ourselves out again that evening for the final of the Euros, where England played Spain.
So we're finishing our week in the rain, having just lost the Euros.
Very fitting ending, to be honest. But the people in that place were so lovely.
So lovely, and it's been such a great week. I hope you've enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Next time we can finally leave A Coruña and explore the Costa da Morte. We anchor for the first time in what feels like ages, enjoy exploring the countryside and round the infamous Cape Finisterre.